Oh, test for YouTube. Testing, testing.
But she didn't hear you on YouTube because
Okay. Testing, testing.
You gotta do what you gotta do. I totally understand. So we'll try. You guys are protesting. So they had to do it. I think they only have so many hearing spaces available, so then you have to refer to the locations. Entering symptoms. Oh, I just walk. Yeah. This is the third time. Hey, good morning. How are you? It's good to see you. Welcome, Denise.
Hi, how are you? Pleasure, nice to meet you.
You know Jane.
Of course we do. So many times. I'll do better today. I'm not sick. Last time I saw the was out there and I was elevation,
Okay. I'm sorry to hear that.
just come back and
Well, I'm glad you're okay. Yeah.
well, I hope you I
I don't do that either.
I do it all the time. I don't know. I realize that
James. Yes, absolutely.
I'm done here.
Yeah. Oh, you're April. That's fine.
Denise Hutchins. Nice to meet you.
Up the woman, but
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We will get started shortly, but just want to do a call for public comment for anyone who may be here to provide public comment. If you're here joining us in person today, there are public comment cards located in the back of the room. If you could fill those out and bring it up front, that would be great. If you're on our Zoom platform, please be sure to raise your hand so I can call on you. I see we have children's voices. We're going to just check for public comment. Do you have general public comment today or comment on any agenda items?
General public comment, please.
Thank you. And our next hand raised is Laura, sorry about that. Laura, do you have general public comment or any agenda items?
Yes, just general public comment, please. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I see Sandra's hands raised. Good morning, Sandra. Do you have general public comment or comment on agenda items?
Yes, good morning. General public comment, please.
Great, thank you. Was Ted? Okay, President King, let me put us into, or let me hand you these first. Okay, President King, let me put us into record mode so we can go ahead and get started, and we are now recording.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the regularly scheduled meeting of the Board of Public Works for Friday, September 26, 2025. Ms. Zatorsky, please take roll and establish quorum.
Of course, Devin Zatorsky with the Board of Public Works. We're joined today by President King, Vice President Chavez, President Pro Tem Grant, Commissioner Mitchell, and Commissioner Cardenas, and we have a quorum. We're also joined by our City Attorney Representative, Ms. Adina Hoppenstand. And we do have general public comment in person today and on the Zoom platform. And we have agenda item comments and multiple item comments today.
Thank you very much. Before we get started with our public comment, we're going to get started first with our 2025 National Latino Heritage Month presentation. So I will ask our fellow Commissioner Cardenas to get us started. There, right there.
Well, welcome everybody, and it's so happy to see so many of you here in our board chambers this morning. This is where we are, me and my fellow commissioners. This is our office on Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 10 o'clock, and it's a pleasure to see so many of you recipients here today, and most importantly, your families and friends that are here to support you. It's very important that we all have support. So again, I want to congratulate all of the recipients for this year's Latino Heritage Month celebration. And with that, we will start with the first one for Richard Miranda from Bureau of Contract Administration. And let me go over there and get the certificates for you.
Good morning, Mr. President, Commissioners, Madam City Attorney, Madam Executive Officer. We're here to honor Richard Miranda today, who is our member of our Office of Wage Standards. Excuse me. He's been a part of the office for the last 2 years, and during that time, he's become a trusted resource for both his colleagues and the public. He plays a vital role in ensuring our Spanish-speaking complainants are heard and understood. His ability to translate with accuracy and compassion helps bridge the gap for workers seeking justice, ensuring that language is never a barrier to stopping wage theft in the city. Beyond his translation work, Richard is quick to step in when special assignments arise, whether assisting colleagues or addressing urgent matters. He consistently demonstrates responsiveness and reliability. His colleagues note his objective approach of balancing professionalism with kindness as he helps guide complainants and employers through what can often be stressful and complicated situations. I will say that, our work and the work of our Office of Wage Standards can sometimes be confrontational, right? Whether it's with the employers who don't agree with some of our findings, and sometimes there's also, some back and forth with complainants who aren't happy with the resolution of their cases or how fast it's going. So it's a job that has had some turnover, but what's important is finding people who really want to do this work, right? Really want to help people do this. And Richard is one of those people. When we had, through the budget process, some of the positions in our Office of Wage Standards were slated for elimination. And so as a budget nerd, I'm looking at council file and I'm looking at the public comment, just trying to see what's going on. And I'm scrolling through the public comment and I see Richard Miranda. I'm like, uh-oh, what is this gonna say? But so I kept reading and I read it, and it wasn't just about a fear for losing or concern over his job. What was written was really a passion and interest in the work that's being done, right? And the work that they do on behalf of workers and the importance of that work and the meaning behind it. And so what came through in that was not a fear of losing a job, but just a passion for the work that he does. And so we have others like Richard, but we really appreciate the work that he does and the passion that he brings to his work. So thank you, Richard.
Thank you, everyone. It's nice to put a face to all the names on top of the letterhead. And to everyone else here, thank you for taking time out of your day to speak to us and to see this recognition. It is truly humbling. I'm just a kid from LA trying to do the best to give back to the community, which has given us so much. This moment isn't really about me. I stand on the shoulders of giants, from my parents who braved coming to a new country to give us a better life, to my colleagues over at the Office of Wage Standards. We do the best to help the most marginalized in our community. And if I could leave you guys with a couple words to our Latino community. Sé que es un tiempo demasiado difícil para nuestra gente, pero que nunca se nos olvide, estamos aquí y aquí nos quedamos. Thank you.
And our next recipient is Manuel Bonilla. And to speak on his behalf is our city engineer, Alfred Mata.
Good morning, commissioners. Once again, Alfred Mata, interim city engineer for the Bureau of Engineering. Our honoree today, as mentioned, is Manuel Bonilla. Manny is a GIS specialist with the Bureau of Engineering. He has been a City of Los Angeles employee for more than 16 years, and for the last 8 years, he's been part of the Bureau of Engineering's GIS and Mapping Division. In addition, he previously had done an internship with our GIS and Mapping Division several years before he started working for us, so it was nice to bring him back home, if you will, and reap the benefits of that time he spent with us as an internship. We wanted to share with you that in late 2023, one of the special things Manny did was he volunteered to serve as our primary contact for the mapping support that we provide to the Emergency Operations Center when they activate it during emergencies. Oftentimes, there's not a full activation, but they'll call us and ask for mapping support from our mapping team. And Manny is the person that helps coordinate all of those activities, which includes reaching out and scheduling staff during the EOC activations. He organizes training sessions, writes reports, and prepares training manuals. And under his team as a coordinator, he has made multiple changes to improve the communication between our GIS staff and the Emergency Operations Center staff to streamline the workflow, as also communications with the executive team, because oftentimes there's a little bit of a disconnect with the activities they're doing. We're not so plugged in with some of the work that they're doing. We're more plugged in with some of the other operations that are going on. So it's been very great to have him there leading this. And thanks to these improvements, the GIS staff as well as the EOC staff has had a positive experience when responding to activations, which has really improved morale and job satisfaction during those activities. I will also say that I've been in a lot of fire recovery meetings, and the support, even the recent incidents that went on with the activated Emergency Operations Center, I've received direct feedback from the Emergency Operations Center staff about the great work that our mapping team is doing supporting all of their activities. So I've been very grateful to Manny and the team for all the work that they've done, because it's definitely takes a load off of all of our shoulders when we have a capable team that meets the needs of that's demanded of them during these emergencies. I will add that this was made evident during the Palisades fire, which was a very demanding job that required Manny to not only take care of all the daily tasks that he has, but also to take on those additional responsibilities, coordinating all the work. So he has to be available on weekends and holidays to coordinate all the staffing to support the EOC. Prior to coming to the Bureau of Engineering and the Department of Public Works, Manny served as the beautification deputy for Council District 4. So he did many things to beautify the alley neighborhoods like Silver Lake, Hollywood, North Hollywood, Koreatown, and Sherman Oaks. He and another coworker would go in a pickup truck and would lead cleanup efforts of some of the unmanned public right-of-way spaces. He also helped organize and assist in a lot of community events like neighborhood cleanups and tree plantings, which allowed him to connect with all the constituents in the community in that field. So he was able to connect with the Latino community and all their neighborhoods during that effort. Manny is a proud Salvadoran American and the son of immigrant parents who are here today to enjoy this celebration along with his wife. The family came to the United States in the 1980s, and Manny was born here, but as a young child, his family moved back to El Salvador for 10 years. He was just 9 months old, I think, when he left. And he has shared that was a difficult time for his family, but they did return to the U.S. Manny subsequently attended Cal State Long Beach and obtained a bachelor's degree in geography, as well as a certificate in geographic information systems, which has led him to work for us in our GIS division. Manny, thank you for all the good work that you do, and congratulations on this recognition.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, commission members. I want to thank my parents, my wife, and my Bureau of Engineering colleagues who came here to support me. It means a lot to me. It's an honor to receive this recognition for my work with the City of Los Angeles and for being a member of the Hispanic community. Thank you to my superiors for this nomination and to the Board of Public Works for hosting us this morning. In honor of Hispanic Heritage Month, I would like to say these words in Spanish. Quiero agradecer a mis padres, a mi esposa y a mis colegas de la Oficina de Ingeniería que vinieron a apoyarme. Significa mucho para mí. Es un honor recibir este reconocimiento por mi trabajo con la ciudad de Los Ángeles y por ser miembro de la comunidad hispana. Gracias a mis superiores por esta nominación y a la Junta de Obras Públicas por recibirnos esta mañana. Thank you.
I really appreciate it. Oh, right here. Even better. Will you stand there? Pleasure.
Okay, our next recipient is Orvo Hernandez Maricel, and from the Bureau of Sanitation, and we have Director Barbara Moreno making the presentation.
Come on, Orvo. Good morning. I'm happy to be here to celebrate the Latino Heritage Month with the Board of Public Works and to recognize one of our standing employees, Orvo Hernandez Marcial. As a general manager, I tried to get to know a lot of our staff, which is, as you can imagine, be quite an undertaking when you have over 3,500 staff. However, with the standout employees like Orville, it's hard not to notice him. He is someone who can be counted on to deliver when needed. During the Palisades fires, Orville played a key role in the fire recovery efforts, providing daily reporting information to our PAO, to our legislative staff, and government affairs teams to share internally and externally with our stakeholders. Orville has the respect of his peers and managers. I certainly appreciate all that he does for sanitation and for the city. Core workers have noted that Orville's amiable personality and deep knowledge allow him to navigate difficult situations that arise, especially at the low impact development counter during construction plan processing. He's also distinguished himself through academic achievement, community service, and stepping up to take on more than his share of challenging assignments at work. Orville is a graduate of Cal State LA with a bachelor's of civil engineering and master's in civil engineering with an emphasis in water resources and environmental engineering. He started with sanitation in 2013 as a student volunteer at Hyperion. Following that, he was selected as an intern at the City of Long Beach as a student engineer. We then took him back and he first worked at the Watershed Protection Division and to ensure their compliance with the MS4 permit. I'm trying to there's a lot, you guys, so bear with me. He has contributed greatly in the mayor's weekly meetings on Executive Directive 1, which focuses on expediting permits and clearances for affordable housing. He's also contributed to ED1 program, developing process flowcharts, updating plans, check review status, training, consultants, and logging hours, logging a lot of hours over time to make sure that the LID plan review process does not delay any of the ED1 projects. If that wasn't enough, Orville led efforts to improve our LID program through the Build LA working group with a consultant team to create a new permit manual. Orville, as you can see, he's done a lot, but Orville also serves on the board of the LA Professional Chapter of the Society of Hispanic Professional Engineers as the Director of Student Outreach. He volunteers for Mathematics, Engineer, Science Achievement, MESA events at Cal State LA, and he also volunteers at the National Science Bowl competition and MESA statewide competition. On his spare time, he loves to run and travel. He's planning to run the Chicago Marathon next month. On a personal note, and I didn't ask him, I just want you to know that Orville, during this time with the fire recoveries, with the ice raids, I have been depending and relying on him for a multitude of tasks, not even knowing that he himself is a DACA recipient. And so for me, personally, that's what our city's about, giving people like Orville an opportunity to give back to the city that loves him so much. So I'm happy. Please join me in celebrating his efforts and the future that Orville will bring to the city. Congratulations, Orville.
Thank you, Director Romero. Good morning, President King, members of the board, council, and staff. I'm truly honored by this award, and by receiving this award, I really just want to represent all DACA recipients. I know what truly it is to be an employee and to have a job, and especially as a DACA recipient, being a member of a small community that's able to work for the city of LA and being able to serve the public. And so I'm truly honored by this. And then, of course, I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge that I wouldn't be here today without my friends, family, and most importantly, my mom. So with that, I want to dedicate this certificate and this award to my mom. Gracias, mam, por todo lo que ha hecho y por todo lo que ha sacrificado para que esté acá. Gracias.
Okay, our next recipient from the Bureau of Street Lighting is Samantha Auratia, and I believe that she is not here, but we have somebody to accept on her behalf. Here you go.
Good morning, President Can, members of the Board of Public Works, and all the colleagues and city family that is here present. My name is Fabian Cheng. I'm the Assistant Director for the Bureau of Street Lighting. Unfortunately, Samantha is not able to join us this morning. She's on a well-deserved vacation, but I do want to mention a little bit about her and just go over her bio so you can get a sense of everything that she does. She's one of our brightest engineers in the Bureau of Street Lighting, and we're happy that she's being recognized today. Samantha started with the Bureau of Street Lighting over 9 years ago as a student worker. She assisted many of our day-to-day operations and would willingly tackle any assignment. In those early days, her problem-solving skills, attention to detail, and professionalism could be clearly seen throughout her work and relationships with other staff. In 2018, she graduated from Cal State University Long Beach with a degree in civil engineering. In 2019, after she graduated, she joined the Bureau of Street Lighting as a street lighting engineer associate in the co-location division, handling design and construction, coordinating the installation of new street lighting poles with attachments for telecommunications equipment. From the very beginning, Samantha stood out by showing an excellence, work ethic, and an ability to tackle complex problems with little or no supervision. In 2023, as part of the Bureau's rotation program, she rotated into the transit division within the Bureau of Street Lighting. She now handles the review, design, and construction management of multiple metro projects. She continues to impress and isn't showing any signs of slowing down, which has been an asset to the Bureau and the city, especially during these challenging times where staffing resources have been reduced. It is because of employees like Samantha that major projects can keep moving forward and on schedule. Her recognition is well-deserved, and the Bureau is honored to have her as part of this team. On a personal note, being a Latino, I'm very happy and honored to be here present in this special occasion and accepting this award on behalf of Samantha. I'm sure that she'll be happy to receive this and put it on her office, on her cubicle. On behalf of all the Bureau of Street Lighting family, I want to congratulate not only her, but also everybody from Latino and Hispanic heritage, because they do play an integral part on the Bureau of Operations, both on the engineering and the field operations construction team. So on behalf of the executive management, my general manager, I want to say thanks to all the Hispanics and Latino and Latinas that work for the Bureau of Street Lighting, because their efforts and resilience really show and are a testament of the great work that they do for the city and for the Bureau. So thank you. Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you for that. Our next recipient is Hector Manuelos from Bureau of Street Lighting. Excuse me, Bureau of Street Services. And we have a couple folks that are here to speak on their behalf.
Hey, Hector. Good morning, Commissioners. Stephanie Clements, Assistant Director. Come on up. Bureau of Street Services. It is my utmost honor to be standing up here today to honor and recognize Mr. Hector Banuelos. Hector is a longtime city employee and street tree superintendent, having worked more than 28 years, and has really dedicated his entire career to public works and our urban forest in Los Angeles. Even though I don't directly oversee urban forestry operations, that would be Assistant Director Ana Tabuena Rudy, who's on vacation right now, or she'd be here. I have had the pleasure of working directly with Hector and have had great talks with him on a multitude of tree-related policy, contract, and other issues. I cannot understate Hector's contributions, his institutional knowledge, and his ability to tactfully deal with some incredibly contentious tree issues at the board level and in our communities. Hector is one of those guys who is always working and he's always at his desk. Sometimes city employees can be a little elusive. You can't really find them when you need them, but you can always find Hector sitting at his desk working hard with his computer screen facing towards you, so you know he's not pretend working. Hector is always giving his 150%, or he's doing a good job of fooling us. Hector and I have been working for the city for a while, and we have sometimes bonded over the frustrating state of affairs. And to be quite honest, it can be very disheartening working for the city. Sometimes you feel like you can't win and all you do is get punished. And so over time, you do get a little jaded and disappointed. And sometimes it helps just to have someone to talk to about this who understands what's going on. And I've appreciated our talks. But that said, it's clear that Hector has a deep love for Los Angeles. He's a hardcore Angelino who really, really cares about our trees and doing what's best for Angelinos. While I think Hector may be close to retiring, it will be a tremendous loss if Hector ever chooses to retire. It's hard to put into words all of the institutional knowledge, his key understanding of tree policy, his ability to lead complex, contentious tree issues, and is dedicated to our urban forest. It will be very hard to replace him. So Hector, on a personal note, thank you for your camaraderie. Thanks for your talks and advice. Thank you for being a mentor to urban forestry staff. And thank you for your service to the Department of Public Works in Los Angeles. And now I'm going to pass the baton to our esteemed Urban Forestry Division Manager, David Miranda.
Good morning, everyone. Board of Public Works. I just want to say we are very grateful and honored to be here today and given the opportunity to recognize Hector for his outstanding work, his dedication, and always being resourceful, a problem solver, and a supportive to the entire UFD team. I've had the luxury to work here myself with the Bureau of Street Services Urban Forestry Division for 26 years. We want to commend Hector for his 28 years for outstanding service and dedication. His hard work, commitment to excellence is highly valued, making him an invaluable asset to the organization. Hector consistently goes over and beyond, approaching every task with the let's get it done attitude, which makes him a pleasure to work with. He is known for his attention to detail, his ability to problem solve in difficult situations, his willingness to assist all colleagues, including myself, making him a great team player. Currently, Hector has a tremendous amount of responsibilities, including overseeing Median Island contracts, the Venice Canal contract, tree watering programs for newly planted trees planted citywide throughout the city of Los Angeles. Hector leads the green waste recycling efforts, where we recycle all our tree trimming activities. He ensures each initiative is carried out with care, efficiency, excuse me, long-term, with care, efficiency, and long-term benefit to the entire community. His ability to manage these complex responsibilities while maintaining high standards has been invaluable. We extend our sincere gratitude for his many years of service, his commitment, and excellent shining example for the entire community and the city of LA. Hector, thank you for all your hard work. I'm happy to be here today to recognize it does not go unnoticed. Thank you, everyone.
Good morning, commissioners. Thank you so much. My bureau, my family, my wife's here with me today, can give me some support. I'd like to thank my parents, of course. I'm a first-generation Mexican-American. My parents immigrated from Mexico in the late 50s. I no longer have my dad with me, but my mom is still here and taught me the meaning of hard work and ethics, strong work ethics. right? Waking up early in the morning, on weekends when I was a teenager, wanting to help my dad with gardening. It wasn't voluntary, but nonetheless it taught me, what work is and just how to earn your money and to value the what it is to spend money, right? And just it doesn't come that easy. So I give all my best to. I try to do my best with the city of LA, for the city of LA, for my workers and mostly for the community here within the city, this great city of ours, and I'm going to continue to do that. I have no plans of retiring anytime soon, although sometimes I dream about it sometimes, but I have no plans to do that as of yet. So God willing, I have good health with me. I'll probably be here for a little while longer. So at least to see through to the Olympics, at least I hope. So I'd like to thank you very much, the board, the city, and my colleagues and my managers with the Bureau. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Congratulations. Thank you for those words, Hector. Reminding me that I'm also a son of a gardener. And talk about hard work. In the San Fernando Valley, when it's 100 degrees, you don't want to be out there gardening, but no hay otro. All right, our next recipient is Karen Lucero from the Board of Public Works Accounting Division, and to represent as our director from accounting, Miguel de la Peña.
Good morning, Commissioners, City Attorney, Ma'am Facilitator. Thank you so much for this opportunity and to allow us to showcase the contributions of our Latino employees to the Board of Public Works, to City of Los Angeles, and the Department of Public Works. I would like to paint a picture this morning of Ms. Lucero right here next to me. She started working for the City of Los Angeles as an exempt employee for the Bureau of Sanitation. At the CLATS location. Her assignments have provided varied experience and the opportunity to see various aspects of city operations and service delivery. As an administrative clerk with sanitation, she actually gained knowledge of the operation of refuse collection and hauling to private landfills. Her duties included assistance with accounts receivables and payables for private and commercial accounts. While working for the Los Angeles World Airport, she was part of the hiring unit within the human resources, responsible for processing requests to fill packages. Her duties encompass generation of certification notices and scheduling of candidates for interviews, medical and fingerprinting appointments, and ensuring employee folders were updated. She also worked in the return to work unit where she reviewed folders, made sure employee folders were actually updated. She also worked and updating medical and personal leaves where she gained knowledge of FMLA employee benefits and any liabilities and other administrative items that go along with that. During the critical COVID-19 pandemic period, she provided administrative support related to FMLA Plus or emergency FMLA for employees who consider high risk or employees that require leaves of childcare for childcare needs. She actually joined the board's office of accounting in September 2021 as an accounting clerk with the Special Funds Group #1, primarily supporting the Bureau of Engineering. Karen is currently assigned for the special providing support, ensuring accounting-related items are timely processed and approved. Throughout her tenure, she has demonstrated a strong eagerness to learn and take on new challenges, often volunteering for more tasks to expand her accounting knowledge and understanding. She has proven to be a reliable resource during high-pressure periods, such as assisting the division manager with year-end close and other time-sensitive assignments. She learns quickly from feedback and takes full ownership of her work, exhibiting excellent organizational skills and consistently managing multiple ongoing tasks while balancing rush requests and daily responsibilities. She communicates clearly and professionally, allowing her to effectively resolve issues in a timely manner, contributing to strengthening a collaborative team culture by regularly sharing knowledge and assisting colleagues. Karen consistently provides valuable and useful feedback while actively engaging with her supervisor and division manager to improve workflows and processes. She takes pride in her work and the team's reputation, always motivated to meet deadlines, especially when other bureaus depend on accounting's timely output. The picture that I wanted to paint is that Karen is such a great asset to us. We are very happy. Her energy is contagious. It's a pleasure to have her around. We have been able to build trust, and the level of trust and the commitment that she exhibits, it's exemplary. She's an amazing employee. And congratulations, Karen, in receiving this award. Okay.
Good morning, President King and commissioners. I'm very honored to be here today. I just really want to give credit really to my parents that came here from Mexico. I'm first generation here, and both of them came from a very small town, one from Chihuahua, Mexico, and the other from Mexicali. My dad was a very hard worker. My mom, instilled being honest and just being able to be honest with the work that you do. And I think that working with the city, those are that's a recipe just for being a good city employee. I've been able to exercise that in everything that I do. I'm very honored to work for the city, and both of them together, they raised 5 kids. 4 of them are working for the city. So, and I encourage everybody else to come work for the city when I have a chance. Thank you to everybody that came out. Some of my colleagues that I've had either at the airport or that I'm working with now at the Bureau of Engineering, they came out. They've been very encouraging. I'm very happy to work with Office of Accounting. I would say that that's a group of people that I have seen to be the most hardworking. I'm very lucky to work there. They've been very encouraging. They also are easy to, when I have any questions, they're able to answer. They don't mind sharing their knowledge with you. Also, I want to thank my family as well for being here. Let's see. I think that's everything. But yes, I'm just very honored to be here, and thank you very much.
Well, thank you, President King. That concludes our recipients. I don't know if the commissioners want to say any words, but thank you.
Thank you very much, Commissioner. At this time, I want to ask our fellow commissioners to provide some brief remarks related to today's ceremony, starting with Vice President Chavez.
Yes, thank you, President King. Well, it's with great pride and pleasure to be here. I'm very appreciative to my colleague, Commissioner Cardenas, for gathering us today to celebrate Latino Heritage Month to recognize the outstanding contributions of our Public Works employees. Latino Heritage Month is very unique of all the Heritage Months. It's the only one that starts in the middle of the month and begins in or ends in the next month's middle. And it's because we honor the Independence Days of Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, Nicaragua, starting on the 15th, following with the independence of Mexico on the 16th. And I think there's something beautiful about a celebration that refuses to be confined by limits, much like its people. And I think this recognition means a lot to me personally. It's the first Latino Heritage Month that I'm celebrating as a member of this board, and it's significant to me personally because I grew up as a child of immigrants, and English was not my first language. When my parents came to this city, they only spoke Spanish. I grew up in a Spanish-speaking household. but they came here to this city to transform their lives. And, you know, as I look to each of you that are being honored today, I see very similar stories, that same spirit, that commitment to change lives and to exhibit that hard work to build something better through public service. So to our extraordinary honorees today in Public Works, you are the backbone of this city. You are maintaining the infrastructure, making sure that we are managing our wastewater, providing engineering services and other really critical city services and support to those services. You are the bridge builders, you are the storytellers through your work and through every day that you come across members of the public of the city. You're representing and providing an example for the next generation and realizing your family's dreams through that service. So your success comes with responsibility, I like to always say. So reach back, lift others up, and ensure that the ladder that you climbed stays down for those following you. And thank you for your service and your dedication and for making our organization and our city better every single day. And so felicidades y muchas gracias por su servicio excepcional.
Thank you very much. Next, we have our President Pro Tem Grant.
Thank you, and thank you, Commissioner Cardenas, for putting this together today. These narratives are particularly moving. Mr. Bonilla went to the same high school as my son, and you and the other colleagues, I can just hope that my son does as well as you have. You have afforded and earned the respect of your colleagues, of your superiors, of this board, of the community, and of the city for the work that you've done. In doing so, you have afforded all workers in the city, in fact, workers, period, the respect and dignity because of your compassion, because of your intelligence, your industry, your ethics, and your willingness to do whatever it takes to make the city better. You've shown what it is to be best in class, and all I can say is, si se pudo.
Thank you very much. Next, we have Commissioner Mitchell.
I'd just like to congratulate today's honorees. You are representative of many that have come before you and actually that you rely on and we rely on in order to perform the services that you provide to this city. Being a civil servant, being a public servant is a very special calling. Not everyone gets the opportunity to do exactly what you do and show up and show out on behalf of all Angelenos. I am honored to serve on this board as a new commissioner. I remember some of you when you came in to present or brief us on different things, and it's always amazing. You all know the technology and all the different words and, how shall we say, the different, like in sanitation, there must be 50,000 different types of things that I got to remember, AGR and all that kind of stuff. But the professionalism is unmatched. City employees show up, show out, people in infrastructure, public works. I love y'all. This is good. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Commissioner Cardenas, did you have any final remarks?
Yes, thank you. Again, thank you to my colleagues for allowing me this privilege of presenting Latino Heritage Month for our 5 bureaus and our accounting office. Just want to say to the families, thank you for coming out today. It's an honor to meet you all, and we're not here without our families. So congratulations.
And lastly, first, congratulations to all of our honorees. I've had the pleasure of working with many of you on various projects. And as my colleagues have stated earlier, we really value your professionalism, your attention to detail, and your dedication to this city. It really truly takes a village to make things work here in the city of Los Angeles, and we really have one of the best workforce in the world to make things work and happen here at our city. And especially, as our mayor would often say, diversity is our strength. And many of us share that common immigration story, and so do I. And I think that is part of our American story, and that is something that we really respect and uplift here in the city of Los Angeles. So once again, thank you very much. And we're going to take a quick 5-minute recess for a group photo. And I'm going to ask all of our honorees to join us here in the back by the flag. And we'll resume in about 5 minutes. The time now is 10:42 a.m.
Chief doesn't even notice.
Okay, folks, if we could all come back to our seats. We're going to get started with our agenda, and then also, if our honorees feel free to exit the boardroom to take additional photos and for additional conversations.
Great, thank you, President Kang. We're going to go ahead and get started. If our honorees, you can feel free to exit. There's great picture opportunities out in the rotunda. Also noticed we had some few folks who joined in person after the meeting started. If you're here joining us in person and would like to provide a public comment, there's public comment cards in the back of the room. Please fill it out and bring it up front. Thank you very much. And let
All right.
put us back in record.
Can you reestablish quorum for us?
Absolutely, President Kang. Reestablishing quorum. It's 10:52 a.m. and we're joined by President Kang, Vice President Chavez, President Pro Tem Grant, Commissioner Mitchell, and Commissioner Cardenas, and we have quorum.
Thank you very much. So we are back, and we will get started with the general public comment, which is an opportunity for the public to address the board on public interest items. It will be provided up to a minute per person, up to a cumulative total of 10 minutes for the general public comment segment of each regular meeting. Testimony shall be limited in content to subject matters which are within the jurisdiction of the Board of Public Works. The board may not take any action on any matters discussed during the public comment period. So I know that many of our folks are here for the Film LA portion of our agenda. I want to ask to hold your public comment until we hear the presentation, and I think that will really help frame many of your public comments, and our Film LA colleagues can address them in their remarks as well. So we will get started with folks providing 1 minute of comment for general public comment, not related to any of our items. So if you can start with our virtual platform.
Great, we'll go ahead and get started with our folks on the virtual platform. Yvonne, you can go ahead and unmute yourself and you'll have 1 minute.
Thank you, and I do appreciate the presentation this morning. Remove the revocable permit for L. Ron Hubbard Way, please. There are multiple violations, most importantly, the violation regarding labor relations and practices. There are constant violation of the labor laws. The only way to get around that would be for the Contracts Compliance Office to have a list of all Sea Org members and what they are compensated for. I'm not sure that the city wants to take that task on. The work done at 320 North Vermont, the permits that have been assigned to that building, many of those are occupant labor.
Thank you, Yvonne. That's time. All right, our next hand raised is Gigi. Gigi, you have 1 minute for general public comment.
Okay, so I want to talk about how we've told you previously about the sidewalk on Fountain by L. Ron Hubbard Way, and how it was horrible, so horrible that people in wheelchairs could not cross over it. They had to try going in the grass to go around it, but that wasn't even an option at this point. You guys did nothing about the sidewalks. We went to the Disability Commission, mentioned something about the sidewalks, and guess what? Scientology was out there trying to fix the sidewalks. So I mentioned it once to the Disability Commission, and they're on it. And I get it's their responsibility to fix the sidewalks, but why are they having the RPF that's getting $47 a week for over $100 of intense labor? Why are they having them grind away on the sidewalk while they're spraying it with a hose? I don't even know if that's, right with OSHA or, if that's the proper procedure, but why are you allowing people that are getting paid $47?
That's 1 minute.
Thank you.
All right, caller, Audit LA. Audit, good morning. You'll have, sorry, Audit. Go ahead and unmute yourself. You'll have 1 minute for general.
Good morning. I want to talk about the Faith and Blue party coming up. prior to now, the Scientology always had this event. They hosted it, and they had, I guess, the permits for it at Celebrity Center. This year, and I don't know if it's because of the issues with the indentured servant wages of their people, which, like we said, only make $47 a week. If they have now transferred it to another church, a Presbyterian church, but Scientology still seems very much in control of it. So I am asking to please investigate whether or not they have proper permits and whether or not their Sea Org members will be paid proper wages. It's illegal for them to make the kind of wages on public permits or public streets. And so I'm upset that Scientology, if they are trying to get around the laws, all we want is for them to be abide by the laws and the permits. That's what we are demanding and asking you to investigate, because they can't
Thank
just
you,
say, oh,
caller.
well,
That's time.
thank you.
Our next caller is Jill. Jill, you'll have 1 minute for general public comment.
Okay, I'm going to continue about the slave labor and the Sea Organization members that were doing unpermitted work yesterday on a sidewalk. They were doing sidewalk construction work. They're slave laborers that only get $47 a week. The Scientology cult members were doing work without any proper gear, masks and gloves and anything to protect them from any injury. And how can they do that? They're not construction workers. Where is their training to repair sidewalks? That's a public sidewalk. They should not be doing that. That's dangerous. You need to inspect that and hire somebody for the city to make those proper repairs and then bill them for their damage that they did from the watering of that lawn. And also to the Film LA crew, why don't you make some movies about Scientology and expose the cult and the child trafficking that's going on with it. Like they also had the cults that were busted recently. You maybe need to do some work and examine your conscience and make some movies
Thank you,
about
caller.
exposing.
That's time. All right, caller, Children's Voices Matter. You'll have 1 minute for general public comment.
Thank you. Greetings, everyone. I'm going to continue with the receipts of children that were failed by Scientology. Todas escuchan los niños, por favor. Number 163, Shi Jianye, rest in peace. Amber Vanessa McBride, Mike P. Jones, Heather Ruggeri, Kat McKinney, Scarlett Hanna, Tiziano Lugli, Suzanne Rue, Stefan Castle, Tanja Castle, Brendan Ty, Sandra Kay, David Anthony, Jeremy Powers, Maureen Bolstad, Danny Balou, Christy Ehrlich, Beth Ehrlich, Michael LaFlenche Francois, Sarita Shoemaker, Rafael Franchi, David Franchi, James Dries, rest in peace. Noah Loddick, rest in peace. Andrea Russo Gianetti, Daniel Chamberlain,
Thank you,
Kim
caller.
McNeil. Thank
That's
you.
1 minute. Thank you. All right, our next caller is Lara. Laura, you'll have 1 minute for general public comment.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yep, go ahead.
Okay, hi. I'm also calling regarding Scientology's abuse of the permits. I would like, as a child born and raised in this, I beg you to please stop giving them these permits and they're allowing them to recruit more people into this cult. That is what is happening. Yesterday, I'm the one who caught these Sea Org members as I was just driving by. They're the one fixing the sidewalk. How is this possible, President Kang? You guys, I emailed you. This is what they do on a daily basis. It was lucky that I happened to catch this driving by. So how is it okay that you then say, oh, okay, Scientology's allowed to handle and fix the sidewalks, but then they have their slave members doing the work? This is what we're trying to get through to you guys. You have to do something about this. You have to do something. This is illegal. You guys are allowing slave labor on city properties. You're allowing the abuse of elderly and the children.
You, caller. That's 1 minute. All right, our next hand raised is Sandra. Sandra, you'll have 1 minute for general public comment.
Thank you. I find it
fantastic that today you had someone from the Office of the Wage Standards, and we have been coming here and talking more and more over the year about breaching, city regulations, state and federal laws, Scientology. Such people as Kendrick Moxon, Kristen Catano-Peterson, and Janet Wheeland, and how they're actively behind all this criminality, the forced labor and human trafficking being two of the major crimes that they commit. And yesterday, like Lara said, she caught them doing labor without any PPE, a hose, electrical wires all over the street. These guys are getting paid $47 a week, and they're doing forced labor without a permit on the street. There was a guy, his name was Jeff Purrington, and he was part of the Sea Org Slave Labor Flooring IC department. It's quite disgusting. I just want to say that you should revoke the permit, you should remove the bricks, you should repave
Thank you,
L. Ron
caller.
Hubbard Way.
That's 1
Thank
minute.
you.
Thank you. All right, Georgina, you'll have 1 minute for general public comment.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yep, go ahead.
I'm calling because I want the R permit revoked for L. Ron Hubbard Way. Scientology uses that street for themselves only. It should be a neighborhood street. It should have street parking there. It should have metered parking there. But I mostly want that street to remain open because it's the only avenue of escape for that slave labor that should not be working out on that street without proper safety and proper pay. That $47 a week, they get that on a good week. They hardly ever get a good week because you have to be up stat. You have to do better than last week. Well, you can't do better continually every week. So they very rarely even make $47 a week. That's the exception, not the rule of thumb. And that street is the only avenue of escape for those people. If you close off that street, they lose any access to public space. They lose any access to freedom. People have been kidnapped and brought back. Thank you.
Mona, good morning. You'll have 1 minute for general public comment.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yep, go ahead.
Thank you very much. Commissioners, thank you for having me. Thank you for the opportunity to address you today. I've been busy with work lately. Work is very important in life. Paychecks are very important in life. I would like you to remind you that having slave labor perform sidewalk repair, not just sweeping, they were grinding concrete in and around Scientology buildings for $47, if that, a week, is taking food out of the mouths of families in the local 300. Their tagline, honest day's pay for an honest day's work. Slave and forced labor sure flies in the face of that belief. You have the chance to right this obvious wrong, revoke the R permits until Scientology obeys the law to pay prevailing wages. Thank you, and I yield back my time.
Thank you, caller. Caller Lurker, I see you have your hand raised. You'll have 1 minute for general public comment.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Hey, I just would like for you to listen to a song and really listen to the words of this song. We are America.
Thank you, Speaker. That's 1 minute. All right, President Kang, that's the end of our raised hands for general public comment.
All right. With that, we will close general public comment portion of today's meeting and move on to multiple agenda item public comment. The board will provide an opportunity for members of the public wishing to speak on more than one agenda item during multiple agenda item comment period, up to a minute per item, up to a total of 3 minutes per meeting. This is the only time to speak on more than one agenda item. And please identify the items that you will speak on when you are called. And once again, we'll reserve time for Film LA comments after the presentation. So this is for all the other items. We'll start with our virtual callers.
Great. Hi, Yvonne. You mentioned you'd like to speak on all items. Please let us know which items you're speaking on, and you'll have up to 3 minutes.
Sure, thank you. Number one, repair or reconfigure. Please do an assessment and have that included in your packages of the cost differential between repairing the street and reconfiguring it. Do have a fiduciary responsibility to the citizens and to the council. Number two, graffiti removal. Yes, but make sure that the people doing the graffiti removal are either true volunteers or definitely not Sea Org members. Thank you. Number three, sewer repair. Of course, do it. Number four, clean air. Fund it. Safe water. Absolutely. The parks were cleaned of lettuce or duckweed. Those materials should be gathered up, baled, and donated to the community farms, compost, or growing above ground gardens. Film LA, we need to make sure that the permits are obtained and enforced, particularly those utilizing L. Ron Hubbard Way. Number eight, citywide master plan needs to be made for all street repairs for the year. You have a budget. How are you going to be spending it? Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Gigi, you said you'd like to speak on minutes, and item number 2, you'll have 2 minutes for those 2 items.
Okay, I want to start with number 2 about the graffiti removal. I think back to a time when we were coming here talking to you about 250 planters, and we wanted to get those removed. And there is no way to get those 250 planters removed. But they're hiring people to get rid of graffiti. It's the same thing in my eyes. Those planters were trashed. They were an eyesore, and no one was allowed to do anything. If anyone touched those planters, they faced legal action. So I agree there should be graffiti removed and everything, but why aren't things equal across the board? As far as the minutes, again, all you say for the public comment part is public comment has been received. That is not fair to the public that has been calling in for over a year for every single meeting, not getting paid like you guys are to be here, but we're doing this on our own time, calling in about this stuff, and all we get is public comment has been received. That is totally wrong. You don't have to include every detail, like someone called in and played some random song and I don't know. You don't got to do that. But you could do something like say, people spoke about the $47 a week that Scientology is paying these people that are working on their sidewalk. That was mentioned. You don't have to list who's doing the minute or who's doing the comments. You just have to put something in the minutes, please. Please, President King, I have faith in you. Thank you. I yield my time.
Thank you, caller. Caller Audit LA, you mentioned you'd like to speak on all items. Please let us know which items you're speaking on. You'll have 3 minutes.
Yes, and Mr. Tatovsky, I'm sorry I called you Miss Matson. My bad. But I want to speak on minutes 2, 6, and 7, please. I want to start with number 7, street updates. I've been asking for a long time to please update us and even agendize, please, the revoking of the R permit on L. Ron Hubbard Way due to the absolute abuses of that permit since the inception, because they have been using indentured servants, slave labor, to do everything on the street. And we saw this yesterday, right? It wasn't even the part of the R permit on Fountain, but we have absolute evidence of slave labor, people making at max $47 a week, working on city property. And I don't even know if they had the permits for that, to fix that. And so that's another thing, not getting the proper permits. And so I'm asking you to please make the updates on revoking this permit and really looking into what is going on with this and to make sure they abide by permits. The Film LA one, I know that, I don't know if it was Film LA or the actual unions that did do the same thing and pushed back on Scientology with the slave labor, $47 a week. And now when Scientology makes films through Film LA, or they have to pay the full wages. That's what I have heard. I would like to have that confirmed by Film LA. But I also know that they seem to try to get away from needing Film LA permits by doing a lot of filming on L. Ron Hubbard Way or in their own property. And I don't think they're getting the proper permits for that. So I always feel like they're ducking and diving and trying to get away with what they can get away with because A, they don't like this pushback. They don't want to be exposed for the crimes. It's actual crimes, what they're doing. And they don't want to be told that they can't do something. That's why I think the same thing with this new event, the Faith in Blue event, same thing. As far as the graffiti, I totally want to back up what Gigi was saying, that it's true that, like I agree with, we need to remove the graffiti, and I agree with what Yvonne said too, make sure it's not Sea Org members doing it, make sure, that it's the right people doing it. But it's true, when people try to remove the planters, they were charged with a crime, for trying to remove it, because at some point, and another person was charged with the crime for removing this netting and stuff that was an absolute danger to anyone trying to get in and out of their cars and onto the sidewalk. So at what point is there self-help, when the city doesn't intervene? And there's a lot of, there's ADA compliance issues, and, and people want to step in and try to help
Thank
because the
you,
city's
Audit.
not doing anything.
That's time.
Thank you.
All right, President King, that's the end of our multiple comments via Zoom.
Thank you very much. With that, we will close the multiple item public comment portion of today's meeting and move forward with the approval of minutes for Monday, September 15, 2025. Commissioners, any questions or comments? Seeing none, is there a first and a second?
So moved.
Second.
First by Commissioner Cardenas, seconded by President Pro Tem Grant.
Thank you both. All right, we'll take the roll call starting with you, President King.
Aye.
Vice President Chavez. Aye. President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
Commissioner Mitchell.
Aye.
And Commissioner Cardenas.
Aye.
Great, all ayes, the item is approved.
Thank you very much. We will do items 1 and 2 and then move forward with our Film LA presentation. First, item number 1 for bids. We are receiving bids for McClay Street Reconfiguration Project in Council District 7.
Great, thank you, President Kang. These bids were received on Wednesday, September 24th by 10 a.m. at our Office of Public Works, and it's the McClay Street Reconfiguration Project in CD7 with a total project estimate of $2,546,560. And Matt has our bids for us. We have 3 bids. Our first bid is from Access Pacific Incorporated for a total of $2,012,801. That's 2012801. And our next bid is from Geronimo Concrete Incorporated for a total of $2,771,582. That's 2771582. And our third bid is from HZS Engineering Incorporated, doing business as HZS Construction, for a total of $2,607,700. That's 2607700. So we have received our 3 bids for the project, and we have opened and declared the bid amounts.
Thank you very much. I'll move to accept the bids. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Cardenas.
Great, thank you. We'll take the roll call starting with you, President King.
Aye.
Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
Commissioner Mitchell. And Commissioner Cardenas.
Aye.
Great. All ayes. The item is adopted and carries forthwith.
Thank you very much. Moving forward with item number 2, which is on consent. The mayor has approved and authorized the Board of Public Works on behalf of the Office of Community Beautification to execute the revised request to execute agreements with 12 contractors to provide graffiti removal services throughout the city. I'll move. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Vice President Chavez.
Great. Roll call. President King.
Aye.
Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
Commissioner Mitchell. And Commissioner Cardenas.
Aye.
Great. All ayes. The item is adopted and carries forthwith.
Thank you very much. And then we'll go to item number 6, which is Film LA. So we'll invite our Film LA representatives to prepare their presentation. And after the presentation, we will hear from the members of the public.
Good morning, and thank you, Honorable Commissioner, for having us here. My name is Denise Gutches. I am the CFO and COO for Film LA.
Can't hear you.
Hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
just speak closer to the mic.
My name
Thank
is
you.
Denise Gutches, CFO and COO for Film LA. This is my colleague. Many know you already. Donna Washington, VP of External Affairs and Operations. We want to thank you for this opportunity to present on a quarterly basis to you and to the public for transparency about the work that we're doing. For this first quarterly meeting, we feel it's important to give an overview of our annual report, contract administration report that we recently submitted earlier this month to President Kang and the board. We also want to give you some updates on the work that we've been doing since our contract renewal and the initiatives that we've been informing. We understand we have a short amount of time, so we'll go through this briefly. So our presentation is queued up. So I'm going to turn it over to Donna. She's going to do a little overview of our core services and programs, which is in the annual report. And we'll also give you an update on a lot of other things that we've been doing. So with that, I'm just moving this forward, hopefully. It's not working.
If you want to point the clicker towards the computer, yes.
Let's try.
Is that not working?
And we can, our mission is there on our website, so we don't need to reiterate it, so we can go to the next slide. Thank you, Devin.
Great. Thank you, Denise. So our core services. So at our core, film permit coordination, we offer standard film permit coordination, but we also offer supportive services that include production planning, a comprehensive community relations that involves advanced community notification, film location monitoring, community outreach, and education. Our major initiatives focus on attracting and retaining production, assisting productions with our industry expertise and knowledge, and a focus on issue advocacy. Permit coordination process involves our production coordinators working hand in hand with city departments for approval for filming activity. On this list, which is just a sample, you can see that we actually process insurance, coordinating street posting and closures, special effects, personal hires, fee collection, and a review of community service when required. All permits are issued by the Permit Authority, which is LAPD, in accordance with city policies. Next slide. Production planning. We offer free production services to filmmakers as a means to encourage them to know everything we know about locations and to remove the element of surprise. We give budget advice and costs, help secure base camp and parking advance approval for activities such as closures, drones, special effects, and so on. And we reserve public buildings such as City Hall. We also offer our online resource called Local Scout for filmmakers who need fast access to a wide variety of locations offered by our clients. So just going back to the permit process, you can see there are 18 city departments on this list. Not all 18 are involved. All permits are reviewed by LAPD as the permit authority, and generally speaking, Fire Department, and Department of Transportation are involved, and other departments depending on the location and activity. Please note that a single permit can cover up to 5 locations for 7 days. With that, I'm going to turn it back over to Denise real quick.
So this slide is just a brief snapshot of what we do in terms of our research. This is, we produce a lot of research reports in terms of production statistics, soundstage studies, et cetera, which is available on our website. We encourage everyone to always go to our website to access those reports. You know, this demonstrates what we've been producing through press, et cetera, is that, you know, we're still experiencing the decline, but we're very encouraged by the, you know, the California Film and Television Tax Credit increase to $750 million, and the recent announcement by the California Film Commission of 400% increase in applications, 22 new television projects that were approved, and 18 of those will be filming here in Los Angeles, either in whole or in part. So this is very encouraging for all of us, that we look forward to what we're going to see in the coming months when we look at the production data. So on the next slide, in our report, we provide operational data and statistics. It's about permit volume, city fees collected, remitted, notifications distributed, and everything that you need to know as a city and for the public in terms of what we're doing and what the volume we're producing. In addition to that, we also provide financial data in the report, 3-year comparison of our operational finances with variance analysis, so you can understand what has changed in the finances of the organization. I also encourage everyone to go to our website, and because our audited financials are there the last 5 years, so we're fully disclosing our financial situation. It's in the About Us section, just so you know. And then, so on the next slide, we do also have in our contract with the city a requirement to update the city about what we're doing with information technology. So as you can see on this slide, you know, we have a very fully multi-integrated permitting system that uses GIS, incorporates accounting, reporting capabilities, so that when the city or our other jurisdictions like the county request data, we have it available. And we did do 90 enhancements, which, you know, 90 doesn't sound like a lot, but it is a lot when you're talking about very complex issues that were based on what industry requested, clients, and our internal users. We also, there's always bug fixes, because when you get a message from Microsoft or somebody that you have to fix something or do an update. That's what that is about. So we do that all the time. So we're very excited about the fact that we've had the support, and we're constantly looking for efficiencies. So we have a whole team. So recently we reduced our number of servers from 18 to 6. And saves a significant amount of money that helps us to preserve the cost of permits going forward. So I'm going to turn it over back to Donna, because we want to talk a lot about what we've been doing in terms of city policies. And again, I just want to thank President Kang as the new film liaison for the mayor's office, and Dan Halden for jumping right in when that appointment occurred and really helping all of us to move forward with some of these reforms.
Thanks, Denise. So the impact of city policies, rules, and regulations. So in April, at the invitation of LA City Council, FilmLA submitted 17 recommendations to streamline city policies and reduce permitted related costs to the industry. In July, we submitted to the CCA an annual report addressing the impact of city policies and regulations on filming, and made recommendations to improve the environment for on-location filming. This slide highlights several of those recommendations: off-street parking at city lots, city use and personnel fees, review and reduce of special filming conditions, LADOT pre-approved activities, and a public education campaign. We have an update. We have worked with two departments to resolve some of the issues outlined in our recommendations. Film LA has an agreement with LADOT that allows Film LA to approve closures for curb lanes and local streets as long as we follow the watch manual, review, and attach engineer plans to the permit. DOT will continue to review full closures of primary and secondary streets and any closures that we see as problematic. I also want to take a pause and thank Max Reyes from the Mayor's Office for working with DOT staff at Special Traffic Control Division, who handle our posting of no parking signs. They have extended their hours to have personnel there till 4 p.m. They used to be closed at 1. This is allowing us to submit changes up into that time. Also, I want to send a huge thank you to Sergeant Rocha and his staff at LAPD. They have worked with the industry reps and our office to identify where the assignment of personnel can be waived or decreased. I also want to mention on Tuesday, our Government Affairs Committee, which is comprised of 15 members representing the studios, guilds, unions, and labor, sent President King a short priority list of filming issues and a longer list as well, both representing obstacles for production trying to film in LA. We are looking forward to working with President King on resolving these issues. I'm going to turn it back over to Denise to finish it up.
And I just want to clarify that that list is intended to be a clarification so that there's a comprehensive list that's not disparate from all other organizations. So we will continue to work with other organizations on this. We want to just give you an update also on the fact that we have been doing listening sessions, working with other organizations like Location Managers Guild International. We've had listening sessions with them, with Producers Guild, new filmmakers. We've met with Stay in LA, and we appreciate their partnership in these efforts. We do plan to be doing, and we met with SAG-AFTRA leadership. We will be doing a SAG-AFTRA membership listening session, as well as with AICP and the California Production Coalition. So we look forward for feedback on other organizations that we can meet with to make sure that we're hearing the concerns and we're able to address them. In addition to that, one of our biggest initiatives that we've talked with President Kang, Max Reyes, and others about is this low impact. We call it a low impact permit. We started working on this years ago and reinitiated this earlier this year. But this is about addressing the small independent filmmakers and the permit cost, as well as how it affects the city, the county, et cetera. So we have presented the criteria that was initially produced back in 2018 with Mayor Garcetti's office, but then when the pandemic hit, there were a lot of reasons why it didn't go through. But we've already started talking to LAPD, LAFD, and Rec and Parks about the criteria to make sure that they're aligned with it in terms of reducing fees, costs. Low impact is about low impact on communities, low impact on government reviews, low impact on the fees to these small independent filmmakers. So that's the process that we started talking about just, not just recently, but we've been working on. So our second part of the process will be to engage focus groups with small independent filmmakers to make sure that the criteria meets with what they can do to produce here in Los Angeles. So that is a big initiative that we're focused on, high priority for us. And then finally, my last thing I just want to mention is that we recently founded a foundation, a 501c3, because we're a 501c4. We can't receive donations. We can, but they're not tax deductible. The 501c3 Film LA Foundation will be focused on, the mission is a thriving film economy, right? And it's about public education. So continuing the research work that we currently do at Film LA, we'll move it to the foundation. We'll be doing our outreach efforts as we have before, but we'll be doing ongoing campaigns. and will be supported by donations and sponsorships. We've already received a lot of donations. We just finally got our final board member, so we're excited to say we're going to be officially publicly launching this foundation in the next month or two. So, we're excited about that because it will offset the cost of what we do now at Film LA for permit applications, right? We'll move those costs to the foundation that will be supported by others. So I want to thank you for this opportunity to give you this update and welcome your questions and comments.
Thank you very much. So we're going to take some public comments. So if you can be seated and we'll bring you back up to the podium. So at this time, I'm going to start with in-person speaker cards. So if you would like to provide comment, please make sure to fill this out at the back of the room and submit it to our facilitator up front. We'll start with Tom, I believe it's Margrove. And everybody has 1 minute.
May it please the board, Tom Hargrove, theoretical data scientist and technologist, futurist, here in support of State of LA. By way of background, I'm not in the industry. I have autism, and I've always struggled to connect with people, and one of the things that always helped me was movies. As a scientist twice over, I can tell you it's one of our most important artifacts, story, to connect to people. I am also a recent rape survivor who lost my job while on medical leave, and it nearly destroyed me. What kept me smiling, what kept hope in my heart? Movies, storytelling. I love these people, and they're hurting right now, and I ask that everyone do everything they can. In closing, I'm going to quote my favorite director, storyteller, Sir Christopher Nolan, and president of the Directors Guild of America. Love is the only thing capable of transcending the dimensions of time and space. Trust in that if we trust in nothing else. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next speaker is Nikos Constant, followed by Kale Thomas.
Hi, my name is Nikos Constant, and I'm an attorney and professor in the Environmental Analysis Department at Pitzer College in Claremont, California, as part of the Robert Redford Conservancy for Southern California Sustainability. But today I'm here in my capacity as a board member of the Silver Lake Neighborhood Council. The way that the city of Los Angeles' political class has been dealing with the economic issues surrounding the entertainment industry reminds me of a line spoken by Robert De Niro in Martin Scorsese's 1995 masterpiece, Casino. In the end, we fucked it all up. It should have been so sweet, too, but it turned out to be the last time that street guys like us were given anything that valuable again. Runaway production, AI, permitting issues, guild issues, tax credits, all of these come to the core issue, which competition is the core of the entertainment industry. And Film LA is not competitive enough currently. Protecting the promised sanctuary of Los Angeles starts in this room. Don't blow the sweetness that motion pictures have delivered for the last 115 years. It's your job to lead the next 115 years of creative, legal, and financial competition. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Kale Thomas, followed by James Babin.
Hi, thank you so much. Kale Thomas, second generation film worker, native Angelino. Thank you for the presentation. That was awesome. But what I heard was a lot of, you got to fix this, you got to fix this, you got to fix this. Fine, I understand. But this is, I'm going to just play something real quick, and this is from the boss.
We also have to do our part right here. So going forward, we will make it easier and more cost-effective to film on city property. And we will also streamline the permitting process to make it easier to film in LA.
Here,'s another one from the
No
governor.
one's naive, and I appreciated what the mayor said earlier. This is the beginning of the next phase of a process that we all have a lot of work to do, not just the city of LA, the county of LA.
Okay, so the reason why I said that is they charge $44.50 an hour for a monitor on any production. We work on Tier 0 productions. We make $20 an hour as an IATSE member. There's inequity. You have to be able to fix the rates and the cost.
Thank you,
Period.
Speaker.
If they're not willing to look internally within their organization to see where they can make a tiered process, just like the International has and all the labor unions has, we're doomed.
Thank you,
We
Speaker.
we no longer work in a regional environment. We work in a national and global competitive
Thank
market.
you. That's time. Thanks.
Thank you very much. James Babin.
Hi, I'm James Babin. My small production company is Barnegat Light Productions. I'm a member of SAG-AFTRA, and I'm also part of Stay in LA. So thanks for the quarterly reports. It's excellent. It's a really good step forward. What I'm really hearing is that there still is a little bit too much complacency and not enough urgency in terms of a timeline and an implementation of all the proposals that were unanimously approved by the city council and directed by the mayor. Specifically, the three that I think we really need to push are going to be the tiered permitting and lower location fees to bring back the small and also the mid-sized level projects from going to other places. Not just, we're competing with cities like Sacramento in California, as well as national cities like Philadelphia, in terms of just an easier process to look at. And we need some faster approval times to make sure that commercials, which are a very, very key source of earnings here, happen. Everyone agrees the change must happen, and I think we could do it with a timeline and implementation. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Next speaker, Veronique Vowell, followed by Pamela Kim.
Hi there. Hi, President Chang. Veronique Vowell, location manager, 37 years, local 399, and a board member of Film LA. I don't disagree with many of the things that the Stay in LA people say. The problem is the city and the slowness that the city moves to change things and repair problems that have been going on for 20 and some odd years. I've been dealing with the Park Film Office for over 25 years. I've had arguments with them. I brought it before the Board of Public Works. I've done everything I can, and quite frankly, it's worse now than it was 25 years ago. It just gets more expensive, more complicated, more confusing, and they tend to say no because they don't have the manpower, the staff, or the ability to say yes. I support Film LA. I believe that without them, we would be in big trouble. I have talked to location managers around the world in doing a project, and I find that all cities across the world where there's a huge amount of production has lots of problems. Are ours worse or better than other cities? I can't say exactly, but I think Film LA is to the benefit of the city and
Thank you.
the industry. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, Pamela.
Hey, it's Pamela. Nice to see you all. Appreciate it. Here's the deal. We need accountability. We need responsibility. We need fucking timelines. That's all there is to it. We have no time left. I understand some of you are just getting into this or just rolling through this. That's all good. But at the end of the day, what we've learned from our screwy federal government is that when there's a will, there's a way, and you can push it through and you can get it done. And what we like to say at Stay in LA, if you don't think you're part of the problem, then you're not part of the solution. So ultimately, we are all accountable in this room, not just you, not just them, not just us. We all are, and we have to move. Every agency needs to be delivering their reports and their needs and how they can make changes. We need drastic, inspired changes. I don't know how to explain this. If we're going to do business as usual, we will have no business. 40%, 20% of zero is still zero. So just help us. We don't need to move mountains. It's a ton of little things. We can all do it. Just be inspired and let's all make the change.
Thank you very much, Savannah Trujillo Poma, and then Wool Parks.
Hello, my name is Savannah Trujillo Poma. I am probably one of, if not the youngest person here. I moved here from Denver 3 going on 4 years ago. Film, it's been my life. It's what I wanted to do. Came here hoping it would be better, and honestly, I should move back home to Denver because film is just doing better there, which is crazy. 3 years ago was not a thing. 3 years now, it is a thing. I am part of that new wave that moves here, that wants to make movies, that wants to better this community, and wants LA to thrive and continue to be the beautiful movie-making capital of the world. That is not happening. And I am seeing so many of my own peers move and leave. Some of them to San Francisco, some of them to Georgia, some of them to New Mexico. And you know what? LA is becoming a ghost town. So if you don't do something, you can say goodbye to us. please do something.
Thank you very much. Last speaker in person is Will Parks.
Hey guys, my name is Wole Parks. I'm an actor. Thank you guys for being here. Listen, I don't fully understand all this. I'm learning about Film LA. I'm learning about, Stay in LA and all these things. I'm just an actor who's been here for 14 years, and I'm about to lose my house soon because we just don't have enough work. I know friends who have lost their health care, and they've been working. These are working actors, and I don't understand all of it. I just know that I want to work. I want to pay my bills. And I'm really getting scared because so many people I know are hurting. And so I just want to impose on you guys, if we could, I know you guys are trying to do stuff, and I know there's a lot of timelines and everything has to go through a process. Every 6-month study, that's 6 months where people can't pay their bills. So if we could just please speed it up. I just want to make sure that you guys get that urgency, that we are hurting. And I love this city. I've been here for almost 14 years now, and I want to keep staying here, but I don't know if I can stay. So that's all I have to say. So thank you for being here. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Do we have any virtual speakers?
I do see a hand raised. We'll call to check if it's for this item. Speaker with the hand raised, call-in user, are you here to speak on item number 6? We've already closed general public comment.
I'm an LA resident. Today is, we are celebrating the 4th annual LA is for All campaign. 1 in 4 Americans are disabled. I'd like to ask the City of Los Angeles, which
Please
is
stay on topic.
hosting the 2028, I am about to. City of Los Angeles is hosting the 2028 Paralympic Games, and I'd like to ask Film
This
LA.
is a Film LA item. Please stay on topic.
I'd like to ask the City of Los Angeles and Film LA for more representation. Fun fact, people with disabilities live in Los Angeles. People with disabilities representation should not solely be regulated to Paralympic promotions. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker. All right, President King, that's the end of our Zoom.
All right. So that concludes our single item public comment, so I'll close that at this time. So I would like to bring back our representatives from Film LA for some follow-up questions, but I do want to provide an opportunity to both Donna and Denise to, if you want to address some of the comments that you've heard earlier or provide any other updated information.
Yeah, I would like to say, I don't think we have any objection to anything anybody said. We agree that there's a lot of reform that we all need to do. And, when it comes to fees, the support from the city to move forward more rapidly, I think that's the critical initiative, which, as I mentioned earlier, I think President Kang and you and Dan have really jumped right in a short period of time. So we can do this working together with everyone. So I don't think that there's anything, unless Donna, you do, that we need to oppose. I mean, when we talk about Film LA fees, we're happy to have conversations about those, continuing those conversations.
Just like to make a real quick comment on processing times. The city is the fastest. And I just want to make a mention that we serve you, and we serve LA County, and we serve 14 cities. The city has a 3-day turnaround time. That's from beginning to end. So I just want to clarify that. Unless the production company is submitting something that is more involved, like full closure, special effects, gunfire, drones, things that require more time, generally speaking, it takes 3 days to get a permit in hand.
All right. So I would like to invite, before I chime in with additional questions, any questions or comments from my fellow colleagues on the board. If you have any questions, feel free to chime in. Commissioner Cardenas.
Yes, thank you. And I can understand the frustration that some folks are having here wanting to make a living here in the city of Los Angeles. And my question is, if you can go into a little more detail on the type of communication networking that's done within the communities that are potentially affected with the with the film shooting that's going on. I didn't hear that much about it in your presentation, so I'm really curious about how Film LA addresses concerns from the residents that are potentially impacted with these activities. I'm sure they're not that happy if their streets are closed and such, but it's, the old got to break an egg to make an omelet story. But if you can give us some information on how the residents report or have issues, and do you meet with the residents prior to the activities taking place? Just that kind of information to see how our Angelinos are affected with these activities.
Absolutely. It's always our goal to make sure we're doing advance notification under our contract. We do 48 hours notice. The reason why it's 48 hours is because with production, a lot of times there are a lot of changes. And so we're trying to make sure we're getting out the most current information to the community. We hand deliver notification within a 500-foot radius of the location itself. It's usually much bigger if they're doing things that are extraordinary, like the gunfire, the special effects, the closures, helicopter, drone, that kind of thing. The intent when we do notification is to make sure that they are basically seeing a carbon copy of what's on the film permit. So they're getting not only the dates and times and location, but all the activity and who to contact. Our information is on the front of the notification. On the back with all the detailed activity is location manager's phone number and how to get a hold of them. So the intent is when they get the notice, and in a lot of these communities where we do filming, especially if we're doing filming often in these certain areas, when they see our blue notice, which I think I might have one here.
Yeah, I'm familiar with the notice.
It looks like this.
We get them here in City Hall all the time.
So when people see this, they know exactly what's coming. And so they know how to get, and believe me, they know how to get a hold of us. But usually we encourage people to call us if they have concerns or, if they have a certain need. And what I did not mention, because we're trying to give you a lot of information, is in our system, because we've been serving you for so long, there's a lot of information embedded in our GIS layers, which is part of our technology. So we have notes like there are certain people in certain communities that don't want the notice to be on a certain place. So we make sure the notice is left at a certain area. It's like that detailed. But beyond that, we also email notice for certain areas that get a lot of filming. And we've identified those areas, and we're trying to work on expanding that.
Just to follow up, do you work with the local neighborhood councils in any instances to work with the community leaders in those areas?
We do. We have community liaisons that have certain areas that they're dedicated to, and they work with all the neighborhood councils. They work also with the homeowners associations and the business districts and individual homeowners and businesses as well. So we're trying to make sure that we are communicating to everyone. Beyond that, when we actually just internally with the city itself, we send out to each council office what we call a shoot sheet, which is basically a detailed report that tells them what's filming that day and 2 weeks out. We also email the council office when there are things that are extraordinary, like the gunfire and the special effects and foreclosures like that, so they're well aware in case the phone calls do come into them, and we always instruct them to call our office, and we'll handle those complaints or concerns.
Sure. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Vice President Chavez.
Yes, thank you for that presentation. When we heard this last, one of the requests that this board made was to receive quarterly written and oral presentations. So thank you for that. It had been a long time since this board and our predecessors had received. And I think it's really important for the public to have access to this information. That's the role that this board serves, is creating transparency and public accountability to everything in our purview. And for those of you who were sitting through the presentations, you know that Public Works is a large entity, and we oversee a lot of things that impact the city's infrastructure. But this is a very important role that we serve, as overseeing the contract for Film LA, which originally was designed to streamline permitting, and now we're talking about a situation where we're looking to Film LA to be the voice of the industry, to be the solution proposer in terms of an industry that is struggling. The stories that we're hearing, not just today, but every day, I encounter heartbreaking stories from people who came here for a dream, which I can relate to, and are now dealing with that dream being shattered. And that's a lot to put on an organization. And I think that that's not what the goal here is. I think what we're looking for is how can we all work together toward the solutions, right? And so another thing that the board asked for was for Film LA to work with other stakeholders, including on the city side, but also on the public side. And I know you mentioned focus groups and listening sessions, but I would like to understand more about what that stakeholder outreach looks like, what it entails, and if you could talk to me a little bit more about that or provide that information, I think that would be really helpful to understand not just what you've done thus far, but what you plan to do in the future.
Yeah, I think our primary objective, as I said, we call them listening sessions, right, with the stakeholder groups, hearing what their concerns are and what we need to be addressing and working with the city, you know, in our internal environment, but with the city as well. Providing solutions that we can realistically implement. And this is not going to be a one-off. This will be an ongoing effort on our advocacy work. And we have, just so you know, we actually have been doing this for many, many years. It just hasn't been as transparent and public for people. So, you know, the advocacy work that we've been doing with the city, the county, and all of our other cities has been ongoing. You can see that in our reports to the city year over year over year. But we want to make sure that we can continually improve the process of what we do and help advocate through our government clients what can be improved to make sure that the film economy here is strong. That's our objective. I don't know if I answered your question, Vice President Chavez, but that's really where we are.
Okay, I think on an ongoing basis, it would be better to maybe in the next report just include more of a detailed list of what that outreach looks
Outline
like.
agenda.
The meetings,
Of,
yes,
yeah,
that would be
absolutely.
great.
We do have agendas for these meetings, so that we can definitely provide
And just
that.
metrics, you know, how many people did you hear from, you know, how many meetings you've held, where they've been held.
We do track that. And
Okay.
you know, we also track every meeting we have with our clients, with communities. We have a meeting tracker, and we provide updates to our board of directors on what the meetings were, how many, and what the return on, when I say return on investment, we're like, what was our objective and did we achieve that? So we do that. So we can provide you with an update on all of that as well.
And then one other thing about, you mentioned the tiered system for fees. What is the timeline for implementation of that?
Well, this is where it comes down to working with our city departments. Is as soon as we, and I believe, based on the responses we've got from LAPD, LAFD, and Rec and Parks, we can move this forward in the next month with them and then start doing focus group sessions. So our goal is early 26 to get something implemented. But we do still need to work with the city and the county on this and make sure that we get the endorsement. We think it will likely be a pilot program because we want to make sure it's successful, and because a pilot program will give us feedback, and then we can implement something longer term that really works for everyone.
Thank you very much. I do have a couple follow-up questions. I know you mentioned about the fee structure that Vice President Chavez just asked about. I know from our public comment and previously, people have mentioned that they have the decision-making process from Film LA is not always as transparent and always not clear, especially around fee structures and some of the neighborhood impact determination. So are there steps that Film LA is making to sort of enhance these transparency around the fee structures? And I know we talked a little bit about tiered pricing, but if you could elaborate a little bit more, would be appreciated.
Traditionally, when there's a change in a fee structure, we provide that for all of our clients in writing, which is public document. Okay, so I want to make sure it's clear that it's accessible by the public, but we're happy to provide more information on our new website that we'll be launching soon, that allows people to understand this. Because our board of directors, which a third is comprised of industry, a third of labor unions, guilds, and a third of community leaders, of that they make those decisions in the context of what's happening in the environment, and we have a response, an obligation to let the city know and all of our clients, other clients know what our intention is, because generally speaking, our contracts say we can only increase our fees by the rate of CPI from the prior year. So any change, we have to let you know what our intentions are, and you have the ability to approve that or not. So there's a full process in our contract, and we're happy to, advise people about that even further in the manner that you suggest that we need to. Putting too much information on a website is a little challenging, but, again, it's, we're public records. Our contract is public records. Everything that we submit to you and all of our other clients are all public records.
And then in terms of sort of that oversight that you mentioned, are there mechanisms currently in place that you all, I know nonprofits conduct audits and other performance benchmarks that you are currently using that aligns with our sort of city's policies or goals, or would love for you to expand on that as well.
Absolutely. And this is part of the reason why we created this contract compliance report, to demonstrate how we're complying. Our auditors review that, and they look at that in relation to the board governance policies, all of our internal financial policies, et cetera. So it's a very comprehensive look at the organization. And remember that as a 501c4, we have to report to the IRS on a 990 tax exempt form, which asks a tremendous amount of questions about our governance and our compliance with the laws. So we stand behind this. As a former auditor from Deloitte, I'm happy to say anybody asks a question, I can provide it from a transparency standpoint.
And then really quickly, I know we've had conversations about using technology to streamline and reduce some of the costs. Would you like to expand upon our discussion related to, I know, Donna, you showed the blue paper, but maybe in the future to reduce some of the costs, QR code and other options that we're looking at?
Yeah, so we have an internal team that constantly looks at efficiencies. I mentioned the servers reduction. This, President Kang, what you mentioned, we brought up to President Kang, is that we're looking at ways to reduce paper, right? And, the cost to notify for the industry. We're always looking at ways to reduce the cost to industry. And so we're looking at ways to not have all the detailed information that Donna just showed you on those things. That might be a smaller piece of paper, a QR code, but also with the QR code and a URL and a phone number, you can engage differently online. And so that ultimately, long term, we'd like to see elimination of that. We know that that's challenging with people who don't have access to technology, et cetera. So we have to be very cautious about that. But we do have a pilot, a proof of concept that we are going to be reviewing with President Kang and Dan Halden about how we can do this more efficiently, less costly for everyone, and more environmentally sensitive.
And lastly, for me, I know a lot of folks talk about the fee structure and then the revenue, and you did mention you're also contracted by the county and many other cities within the county. How approximately what would be our city's revenue that kind of represents the overall operations for Film LA?
I will say it's about 60%. It's not, that's a rough number, but because it's been ranging quite a bit these
Okay.
days, unfortunately, but it is the majority of what the revenue base is.
Okay. And then Commissioner Cardenas.
Yeah, just to follow up on that question or that statement, with the use of technology, what type of fee structure reduction, if any, are you looking at? 5%, 10%? What type of savings would the industry get by going from a manual process to an automatic IT process to make notifications?
It's a very good question. I can't answer that right now. We will continue to explore that because, with technology, there are a lot of different variables, but this fiscal year, we didn't increase our fees as a result of some savings and a decision by the board to make sure it's clear to the industry that we want to support going forward. So I would say that I probably will know better by next March once my IT team is able to get through all of this work. So more to come, Commissioner.
Or just for clarity, you mentioned a pilot program. When do you have a start or some type of goal on when that pilot would be implemented and how long it will last?
Well, that's part of what we want to work with. It's part of the low impact permit as well as the notification pilot. There's two pilots going on at the same time. And I want to be very clear. We went from 117 employees to 74 employees. So we're trying to do this as rapidly as we can with the limited resources we do have. So we're moving forward as these two programs are our highest priority right now, in addition to all the other initiatives that our Government Affairs Committee submitted.
Okay, so I'll ask again, has any of these pilots started?
The pilot for the low impact permit, we've started by starting a conversation with the city departments. The notification pilot, we have a proof of concept that we will be presenting to President Kang in a couple of weeks. Unfortunately, my IT director, I should say unfortunately, he deserves it. He's on vacation the next 2 weeks, so I need him involved in that. So in 1st of November, we will schedule a meeting to go through the proof of concept to make sure that we're aligned with what the city could agree to.
Okay, well, look forward to that notification.
It's all on my timeline. It's like on my shoulders. I'm on this.
So thank you to Film LA and all the stakeholders for coming out today. We hear you, as VP Chavez and many of the commissioners have heard from many of you loud and clear that you do want to see results. We are moving very quickly as possible. And although these were we've had initial big wins, these weren't necessarily communicated to the world, but I know the industry is feeling at ease with this new structure of myself, Dan Halden, this board, and many of our city departments. And even earlier this morning, we've met, myself and Dan met with one of our city departments to see how we can lower the cost and really put that equity back into our fee structure and see how we can reduce the barriers and the burden for many of our low-impact films and student filming and independent filming. So things are in motion. We hear you. I know you want to see progress today. And we've had some small wins, so please stay tuned. And I think this is a step in the right direction. And we appreciate you all for coming out and all of our partners, including Film LA.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right. Yes, so we're going to take a quick 5-minute recess for restrooms and other things as well. So time now is 12:06.
about something and I was in a meeting and oh, gosh, it's a basement? Okay. Is there lean? So far, I think, I mean, to my knowledge, the last abatement was done at the election of that board, of the abatement board. Nobody has gone to the senior 15. No one has initiated the funding. With consent is the best. I mean, you should still do it, but consent is the best. Oh, it's got nothing. But the abatement was, the abatement happened. As far as I know, she did never follow it. I don't know how it works, so there should be. Otherwise, I would reach somebody in LADD. They do it normally, and so they should be able to. If you contact the books and for that, I'll just give you the name of a lawyer who can do that. Are you?
so hungry. I need breakfast. There's still a concha left.
Okay. No, last one.
Yeah, I've never. Oh, excuse my mic. All right, folks, we're going to get started. President King, let me take quorum. It is 12:14. We have President King, we have Vice President Chavez in the room, we have President Pro Tem Grant, Commissioner Mitchell, and Commissioner Cardenas, and we have quorum.
And the time is
12:14 p.m. Thank you.
All right, let me kind of move. Thank you to all of our staff for your patience today. We've had a long meeting, so we'll kind of go backwards. I want to have Mr. Nichols get out of here in a reasonable time because he always goes last. So I want to bring him up first for his weekly update on major upcoming street improvements from the Bureau of Street Services.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, President King, Vice President Chavez, President Pro Tem Grant, Commissioner Mitchell, Commissioner Cardenas, City Attorney, and Executive Officer, and Bureau representatives. My name is Sherrod Nichols. I'm the Operations Manager, General Superintendent overseeing the Street Renewal Division, responsible for resurfacing, reconstruction, and slurry seal. This information is being provided to provide the public, to keep the public informed of the upcoming resurfacing projects throughout the city and to minimize the impact on the community as well. Any concerns as far as the Street Renewal Division, you can reach out to 213-847-3200. You can also contact me, Sherrod Nichols, at sherrod.nichols@lacity.org. So we don't have any current major projects for the Valley and Metro, but I want to give you an update on the large asphalt repairs throughout the city. During the week of September 28th through October 4th, we're going to have 8 projects for large asphalt repairs for almost 1 lane mile. We have coordinated with LEDOT and all the council offices regarding all the projects through the city. Usually I give photos regarding our locations and also locations. I had issues with my computer crashing. My apologies. So next week, I will have that information for you. I have a lot of good photos of some of the large asphalt repairs we're doing through the city. And that concludes my report.
Thank you very much. Questions from Commissioner Cardenas?
Oh, no, thank you very much. And, you know, you can save some paper if you send those digitally to our assistant. We'll get copies of those. I don't need to waste paper, but if we'd love to see those photos.
Awesome.
And
I will do
they'll
that.
also be in color on my computer, so it'll be easier to see.
Okay. Awesome. I will do that. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Any other comments or questions? Seeing none, thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a good weekend.
Moving along to back to item number 3 for quarterly acceptance report for emergency sewer storm drain repair.
Good afternoon, President Kang and Commissioners. Seppi Wiles, Bureau of Contract Administration, recommending the board accept the 185 sewer projects and 17 storm drain projects for the Emergency Sewer and Storm Drain Repair Program as detailed in the project summary tables. This was for work completed and work performed utilizing 23 of the on-call contractors for the period ranging from January 2018 to March of this year. This quarterly report represents 202 construction orders that are actually a subset of the emergency sewer and storm drain work inspected by the BCA during this reporting period. The projects were initiated by the Bureau of Sanitation to make necessary and expeditious repairs to the city's damaged sewer and storm drain systems. The cost and scope of the work were valued from $660.85 to over $1.3 million and ranged from sewer and storm drain mainline cleaning, small spot repairs, and complete removal and replacement of mainline sewer and storm drain piping. These projects were performed either on a time and material basis or on an agreed price basis. There were no funds disputed or withheld, therefore no funds are due to the contractors. And they have all complied with the equal employment opportunity and labor compliance requirements of the respective contracts. No specific business enterprise participation levels were established for this contract due to the emergency nature of the work. There are no unresolved property owners' complaints in connection with any of these projects, and that concludes my report.
Thank you very much. Questions from the commissioners? All right, seeing none, is there a first and a second?
So move.
First by President Pro Tem Grant, seconded by Commissioner Mitchell.
Great, we'll take the roll call starting with you, President Kang.
Aye.
Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
Commissioner Mitchell. And Commissioner Cardenas.
Aye.
Great, all ayes, the item is adopted and carries forthwith.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Moving on to item number 4 for Council District 15, AFE South Coast Air Quality Management District.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. My name is An Vong. I'm representing Tom Island to request increment fund to pay to the South Coast Air Quality Management District to the amount of $132,000. This amount to pay for our annual fees imposed by the AQMD for our equipment, permit renewals, annual emissions, and the rest other fees, as well as permit to construct our BTF as well and our flare for this fiscal year. I'm here to take any questions.
All right. Commissioners, any questions or comments related to item number 4? All right. Seeing none, is there a first and a second?
So move.
Commissioner Cardenas, would you like to second?
Oh, second.
All right. First by President Pro Tem Grant, seconded by Commissioner Cardenas. And Commissioner Mitchell, yes. Oh, moved by, first, sorry, my apologies. To be clear, first by Commissioner Mitchell, seconded by Commissioner Cardenas.
Great, thank you for the clarification. All right, we'll take the roll call starting with you, President Kang.
Aye.
Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
Commissioner Mitchell. And Commissioner Cardenas.
Aye.
Great, all ayes, the item is adopted and carries forthwith.
Thank you very much. And number 5 for AFE, State Water Resources Control Board.
Hi, Commissioner again. This is An Vong. I'm also requesting a fund to pay for to our annual National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System fees, it's NPDES permits, to the State Water Resource Control Board to the amount of $290,000 to pay to basically allow us to discharge our treated wastewater and our recycled water to the ocean.
Thank you very much. Commissioners, any questions or comments on item number 5? Seeing none, is there a first and a second?
Second.
First by Commissioner Mitchell, seconded by Commissioner Cardenas.
Great, roll call starting with you, President Kang.
Aye.
Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
Commissioner Mitchell. And Commissioner Cardenas.
Aye.
Great, all ayes, the item is adopted and carries forthwith.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I believe that clears our voting items for today.
Yes, that is the end of our agenda items.
All right, thank you, everybody. Our next meeting will be on Monday, September 29th, 2025. Meeting is now adjourned at 12:22 p.m.